We'll start with the basic square with a triangle in front. Now we can wall it in with a door here. You can use a wood door or sheet. After the roof, our TC goes here, facing this way. Most people start with 2 boxes since they don't use metal. Place them tightly like this. Our sleeping bag can go anywhere. I like it right in the front. Furnaces will move a lot in the start. This corner is a good starting point. Here we have our most basic of starter bases, essentials only. You see these everywhere in the beginning of a wipe. Our first expansion will be a triangle and square. Wall it in with a wall frame here. The double door should swing out. We'll put a ceiling up and we're going to get weird right here. We'll add a window frame with hard side facing us. Grab yourself a small box to place in this corner. This allows for easy passage. Now let's upgrade our main loot. First we'll move the furnace to make room for our first large box. It only has to be as far back as possible. If we jump up and place our body in this corner, we can place our second large box. Placing this correctly will allow you to still add a stone wall frame here. Standing at the front of the loot room, we can add in 2 more small boxes. Rotate the first one and it should fit right in the middle. The second one faces the opposite way and it fits right in the front. That is now 18 rows of storage and should be good for a little while. So let's go back to what we just built. In this room we're going to place our furnace, a trap, and a level 1 workbench. The bench can go right into this corner. In front of it we can place the furnace that we picked up earlier. Once you get the reinforced glass window, you can seal main loot anytime you need to. For our first shotgun trap, we're going to use this open door as a guide. Basically, we want the trap to be up against the back wall, but lined up with the edge of the door here. It doesn't have to be perfect, and if you don't have one, it's fine. However, it does work really well with the double door opening out, blocking all the angles to go deep on. For a solo, this window trick is very strong since it's cheap to craft and costs the same as an armored door to raid through. From our entrance, we'll build out 2 triangles, a square, and a final triangle. For the next few walls, make sure your soft sides all face the same as in the video. This is to make the best of each placement. On the top here, we can place a triangle with the furnace to jump up for the time being. This will allow us to get to the front entrance. Now we can build a triangle here with a slanted roof leading to our front door. Now we can use 2 single doors here and then extend 2 walls out in this direction. We also want a wall here. Now we can place some wall frames. The first one here, we'll put 2 on the outer bit of this triangle, and we can also add in 2 extras here and here. Both of these will get a shop front. The front gets 2 sheet metal doors. The first one swings in and the second one swings out for a basic airlock. On this back frame, we'll add a temporary double door. Once you're at this point, you can build up the ceiling part. Now if we have a look, we have an elevated front entrance with vision from shop fronts along with a second exit just in case. Back on the inside, we'll place a second window frame with hard side facing us. This is simply to add raw raid costs to this floor for raiders that choose to go through the doors. Our research table can go right into this corner. You want it to be as snug in the corner as you can get it. Now the window frame's hitbox is kinda weird, but once you place it you can get a large box underneath it. If you placed it correctly, you'll be able to get a single small box in this corner while not blocking smooth movement through the doors. If we add a double door that swings this way, we have a second airlock for the front. We can now grab a large box, a small box, and a sleeping bag. We use the large box up against the window frame for easy movement through it. From up here we can place our second sleeping bag very close to the box. Now if we place our small box right in this corner of these 2 shop fronts, we could jump on it and in times of need have great vision of what's lurking outside. From our second floor, if we come out here, from this square we'll want to jump off the left side. The reason we want to start here is because we want to use this temporary build-up, which will allow us to place this triangle inside for later. After we demolish it, we can start adding triangles around every side of the first floor. When you see the slanted roof as the next side, then stop. Next we'll come back the other way while adding in corresponding triangles on top. When those are all in place, we can start building full walls. It is very important that all the hard sides of these face outward. This is our main core's honeycomb and we don't want any funny business going on. If we take an aerial view and pan around, you can see that we've only used stone and we've doubled the raid cost into our core. This allows more options when considering when to upgrade things inside to sheet metal. To finish up this section, we'll want to add 2 walls and then a window frame. If you have the glass window to put in it, I would do so now. After we put a roof on, we can kind of see what we're looking like so far. Now, just in case you were wondering, the intent for this glass window is that we can open it up and add 2 walls plus a ceiling. Then we can add in 3 furnaces like so, giving us a nice little room for our smelting. You can seal this back up with the window, just remember to repair it. On the second floor, we'll want to replace the sheet metal double and this one too. Now our first garage door will go up nice and easy like this, but our second one here won't. To place this one, we need to pick up this box first, open it, and then we can replace it. If we come jump through our window, first thing we want back here is a stone wall frame, and we can put a garage door that faces in. We can also add one here facing the same way. By this time in the wipe, you'll probably want your level 2, so grab it along with 3 small boxes and a sleeping bag. They will all fit here. The bench goes up against this wall with a box under it. Then we can use the last 2 boxes next to each other like this and still be able to fit a sleeping bag next to them. Although the 3 bags share a timer, it is beneficial to be able to choose where in your base you spawn. We'll visit this loot room a little bit later, but for now you can see that we can easily pass through this window using the boxes. Looks good up here, but down here we have some work to do. It's important to get rid of this sheet metal double and also this furnace. We can now add a half wall here to get this triangle into place. Next, break the half wall and replace it with a full one. Now we have a staircase that pairs well with a garage door. At this point, removing this trap is probably best since it restricts movement and there are better options now. To ensure fast movement, now we can add a small box right into here. And now let's finish this loot room. As you can see, if we try to place the garage door now, we cannot. So we actually need to pick up the large box and the 4 small ones. This is fine because it gives us a unique opportunity to upgrade this room easily. You can use sheet metal here, but the final grade for this room would be HQM. We'll upgrade all of the walls, the ceiling, and we also want to do this triangle room as well. Before we start placing boxes, upgrade this frame to metal. Once the room looks like this, we are good to go. Now we can place the garage door and the boxes. We'll put this one back here and the original 4 small boxes. Having the wall frame metal makes placing these much easier. This loot room design is new to me. So far I think it's pretty solid, but I'd like to know what you think about it. Now there is one more cool thing I still have to add in, so after you see that, let me know what you think about this design. So now if I can actually jump up here, we can add in this large box to the back. Lining it up with a line on the stone floor makes this easier. The next box is kinda tricky, but you want it to be as far back as possible. For the last 2 small boxes, what I like to do is first place a small box here to get some elevation. We'll need 2 small boxes for this, and the first one goes on this right corner. The last one fits right up the middle. Now there is 32 rows of regular storage, 2 rows of low grade storage, plus a TC in this 1x1. Wait, what is 2 rows of low grade storage, you ask? Now for that cool thing I was talking about. It's so simple, yet so efficient. We're going to place some lanterns. You can place these anywhere, but I'm going to place 3 in front of the TC and 4 more down the right wall. Now the cool thing about these is that each one holds 500 low grade. This makes for a great storage alternative, especially since you can place them on top of things. You know what, I think I'll even add 5 more over here. That makes 12 lanterns, which holds 6,000 low grade, which is probably enough for most people. And there you have it, our main loot room is done. One more thing you can add here is a drop box. You want it to face this way so that you can access the 2 rows from this side. Note this doesn't block placing the window here. What's also cool about this is that you could use it as a quick drop with access closer to the front door. Our second loot room is much easier. First things first though, we'll upgrade this wall frame to sheet metal. We can place our bottom half first, starting with this large box. If we jump on it, we can easily place a second one here. The third one is the trickiest since it needs to be behind the wall frame and up against the wall. Now we can go ahead and grab a small box with this corner here. That is literally the bottom part done, but now we need a shelf. To do this, we need to go outside and use some buildup on that square there. If you don't have a ladder, you can use this twig buildup for temporary access. Once we get to this stone, we'll want to add a half wall and a triangle, which will then allow us to build this square half height floor in our loot room, which should be stone. Remember to come back outside and break all the twig down. Now we can finish our loot room. Now the boxes get placed the same as below us, but we do have to place them in a different order. Grab yourself 3 large boxes and eventually 1 small one, and we can place the first one in this orientation. The boxes up here are slightly harder to place than the bottom ones since there is way less room to work with. The second one can go right into this spot here. This is another example of why upgrading the frame to metal is good. The last one can go into this corner. It will only fit if the first one was placed right. The small one goes here, and if you would like to place lanterns up here to hold low grade, that is completely up to you. We can add a box here just to add one. Down here is where the magic will happen. We'll get rid of this furnace, the tier 1, and this box. This is because our level 3 is going to go here now. We want it to be as far back and left as possible. Now we can put a small box under it on the right and rotate it, and we can fit another one on the left. Next we'll come under here and grab 2 large boxes. This one needs to be placed pretty good, back and left. If we do it right, we could place one here. Now would be a good time to upgrade our 2 floor sections to sheet metal. From up here we could place a small box which also needs to be placed as far back as possible. If done correctly, when we grab a large box and 2 small ones, we should be able to get the large one in like this, along with the 2 small ones following. Now this room is much more useful. If we turn around, as soon as you can, replace this sheet door with an armored one that swings the same way, just for more door security. Since we have a drop down chute, there is potential for some good traps. Now I'm usually bad at placing these, but you can fit one here above the window aiming at the chute, and you could even get one in on the other side. If you have the drop box, you can make a bit better use of this wall by adding one here to gain 2 rows of additional storage. You can even pretty them up with some lanterns. Oh yeah. Now for some final upgrading. We definitely want to sheet metal this triangle room, ceiling, wall, and the floor. We also upgrade our level 3 room. Now you can upgrade this wall for a peace of mind, but it doesn't affect the raid cost. So for this wall up here, when you upgrade it past stone, you want to rotate it as well. Both because it needs to be sheet metal, but also the boxes are visible if you don't. You see what I mean? In this room we can upgrade this wall and both of these ceilings. That one is fine. In this room once again, upgrade the wall and ceiling. Upgrade this ceiling and then jump up to the shelf where we can upgrade the ceiling and this left side wall. You could just upgrade this wall from the outside, but I want to show you that you can still place these boxes when the walls are already sheet metal. I am curious, what loot room would you put up here on the 2nd floor given the way the door path is laid out? Let me know. And there we have it. At this point, the base is pretty much done. This base is very cheap and easy to build and will protect you from most raiders. I plan on using this base in my upcoming survival series, so once that's released, check it out to see this thing in action. Until then everyone, if you have anything to add, like always, please let me know in the comments below. Bye for now.